Once I started getting texts and seeing texts, I started saving them. And over time, it became this crazy behemoth list of texts that I got over the years. But over time, I learned a lot. And here's what I've learned. Number one is I'm talking about the first text, which is the most important, is a yes or no question. Yes or no questions, aka binary questions, simple binary question, always get the best responses. Okay? Simple binary questions. The questions, very simple question. It says, hey, do you have this problem? Did this happen to you? Is it something, not necessarily whether you want the service, we're not jumping the gun and say, hey, looking to hire, looking to book a call. No, simple yes or no question to just talk about the problem. Hey, were you recently fired in the last 2 years? Did you get into a car accident? Or hey, did you or someone get into something like that? To just get them to respond. The whole point, you're not trying to close them, you're not trying to get them on a call, you're just trying to get them to just start a conversation with you. That's it. So what I found is I'm actually writing a book right now. So this is stuff coming from the book. This is pretty good. Combines a lot of best practices in one shot that I've seen. Let's take a look. Hi, first name, personalize it. This is John from John Law Firm. And then insert a simple yes or no question relevant to your legal field. Like, did you get into a car accident last 2 years? So again, something very simple. So think about that. And let's put in the chat, what would be your first question? What would be the first question? And then we're going to review some of them, give some comment suggestions. And from that, hopefully be able to tweak yours. So feel free to, let's think about that. What will be your primary question?
I have a question.
Yes, please.
So that message that you're showing up is, for example, when a lead comes in and calls, and so you're saying that we should text them right away. So we are on the call with the lead and right away we are sending that text message. So with that question, so they should get and respond to the text while they're on the call with us, or should respond the answer to us directly through the call, or how would it work?
As soon as the lead comes in.
Yeah, when they call, like they call the office and they are talking.
No. This is not if they call. If they call, great. You got on the phone. You achieved the objective.
This will be just only if they enter to the website or something like that.
They opted in somehow, either on your landing page, or your Facebook lead form.
Oh, okay, like any virtual way, not by.
Correct.
Okay.
If they call you, they called in. Amazing. You're like.
So when they call, it's not need to send the text right away. It could be later after they whatever happens.
But if you do talk to them, but after you hang up, it'll be a good practice to send them a text to summarize it, given the call to action.
Yeah. Okay.
So now what we want, some questions. Let's review some questions. Retro says was thinking what initial text we can send. Again, I want everybody to go through this exercise. It's good practice. Everybody needs it. So let's get this text out of the way and lock it in so you can start using it. Petro says was thinking about what initial text we can send. We do estate planning appropriate. What questions should we send that can apply to either area? Now that I'm saying this, I realize I could create an agent out of this. I'm creating a list of agents that I'm creating right now. So for initial text AI agent, very good. Do you live in Delaware? What are you looking for? Or why are you looking for bankruptcy information? So keep in mind, Cynthia, that we want to ask a simple binary question. So no whys. Do you live in Delaware? Will be a good binary question, something like that. Simple that they could say yes or no. Stacy says, have you recently missed a few mortgage payments? That's a perfect question, Stacy, because it's about the problem. That just starts the conversation. And then when they say yes, then now you could ask about the problem or ask those qualifying questions. That is a perfect one, Stacy. Lock it in. Good for you. Bam. Michelle says, did you recently have a baby? Yeah. I have estate planning practice and my primary target is new parents. Perfect. That's a great one, Michelle. Next, when they respond back, you say congratulations and you start your qualification questions. Will says, deeply sorry what happened to you. Are you okay? That one might be potentially jumping the gun too early because they're like, why is this stranger asking me if I'm okay? Potentially. That might, maybe. That's an interesting one, Will. I think that one is something we have to try out and see how that goes.
Just to clarify, that was my second text. I'm sorry, I thought that was a question. What was it?
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
It builds empathy, connection, and it gets them talking.
That should make sense. Yeah. That sounds like an interesting one to ask. Stacy says, are you considering bankruptcy to save your home? That's a good second or third question, Stacy, but that sounds very good. Short, clear, considering. So it's not like you're not shoving in their face. You're just considering it, something you're thinking about. That's a very good question, Stacy. Stacy, I want you to take all these questions and create a whole text workflow for yourself. And Natalia says, are you getting criminal charges or being investigated for a crime? Talia, perfect. Amazing. That's a very good one. Clear, straight to the point. Yes or no question. I'm getting chills. Is it really good? Sabrina says, do you need to talk to someone about paying for long-term care? And Sabrina, that might be a good second or third question after you ask a simple one. That one's a little bit jumping the gun. You want to talk to somebody? It's good, but maybe it's a little bit more later down the line question. Patty says, have you done a prior art search for your invention already? Again, seems like a second or third question, Patty. So see if you can simplify it even further. Ask them maybe about them. Potentially is another way to think about it. David says, are you a foreign medical graduate looking to explore U.S. visa options? That's very specific. That might be a good thing if you're only getting those types of leads. So yeah, seems if your lead source is spot on and your marketing that leads up to that gives you those, then yes, that is a very good direct question. Are you experiencing bill problems? Very good, Cynthia. But I have a feeling you might be able to say that in a better way, but very good idea. And then once they answer that, obvious question is like how much? What's the amount? Less than 10,000 or more than 10,000? Something like that. That's a very binary question to divide that. Are you launching a business this year? Very good, Melissa. I would think about is, are you thinking about starting a business this year? It's a little bit lower, easier entry. Are you thinking about launching a business this year? Gets them talking. And they say yes. Then we're like, great. What type of business? Great. Yeah. Start the flow that way. These are very good. Very good. Amazing. So let me know if there's any other ones, but these are all, I think you guys get the idea. Simple binary yes or no questions to just start the conversation without necessarily jumping the gun too early. What I'll do, I'll try to create an agent out of this. I'll take some of your examples, feed it, an agent out of it, and then hopefully everybody will have a very clear way to ask these questions. And if you have your first text down, then go through the flow. Well, if the person answers this, then what should I ask next? Usually you want to affirm what they're saying. You're like, great, or I understand, or you affirm it. And then you follow along something, usually a follow-through qualification question. It says, how about, do you have a short summary of your invention you can share? Sounds good, Patty. That might be a second or third question. Elizabeth says, are you an immigrant looking for your green card or work permit? That's a good question, Elizabeth. I know it sounds like a this or that, but I'm looking for yes or no. I have to answer which one. Either is fine. The point is yes. Yeah, sounds right. Elizabeth, that sounds like a good one. Very good. Very good. Let me think about, just make sure your first text has mentions. Ideally, if you have their first name, always just their first name. Hi or hey, first name. It doesn't matter. I don't know if anybody has a mic or does anybody know if their hi or hey works better? Or maybe that's very too specific. I don't think it matters. Hi, first name. This is your full name from your law firm name. And I also seen something else also that I've seen from a tool called WooSender. I look on their back end to see what their text says. This is how they do it. Let's study this. This WooSender is just like a very expensive intake AI. But here's what they do. Hey, first name, John here from law firm name. Thank you for contacting us. Okay. The sooner the accused seeks legal help, the better the chances of a successful outcome. So they put some urgency in there. So if yours has some kind of urgency or something in there, they may want to throw that in there. That's what they do. And then for them, this was surprising to me. They've tested probably literally millions of texts and they've seen what works. What they do is their binary question, they're just going straight into getting a booking. So what they do is they propose 2 different times. Same idea as binary, it's simple. So they don't leave it open-ended. When is a good time? They don't say when is a good time. They say, does this time work for you or this time for a quick call? And that's how they get them booked. Again, they're going in straight to get the meeting booked.
Well, Sam, that's what I do. If you have just a second is when we get a voicemail, this is elder law. So inevitably when someone calls, they say their name and who they're calling about. So like my mom or my dad or my spouse. And so our text goes out to, good morning, first name. Would you like to schedule a time to talk about your, whoever that is, mother, father, or spouse, and then 2 or 3 times, and then pick one. And that's it. Just like that.
Nice. Normal also affirms that. Yeah. And yeah, at that point, pretty much your job, the whole point of the text, by the way, again, you're not trying to sell, you're not trying to sign them up. The whole point of the text is to just get them on a call. So have that in mind. You're not trying to sell. Don't talk about your service, what you do, things like that. You're interested in engaging in estate planning. Yeah, this is what I mean, Jose. Don't talk about that. It's too early. They're like, great, definitely help you. And then go into this binary, what time it works for you question. Get specific. Looks like this is super optimized. So let's use this method.